Good morning. On this beautiful April spring morning where the temperature outside is already in the 60s, I'm showing you my newest guitar. Now, I've made other guitars that are regular guitars, 6-string guitars. I've made 5 different 6-string guitars. One of them is purely acoustic, and then some of them are acoustic and electric, and some of them are just electric. I have made a baritone guitar. I made a Fender deluxe Telecaster from a kit. I made tenor guitar, but I've never made a guitar exactly like this one. This is sort of a tenor guitar. It has 4 strings, and the 4 strings are metal. The scale length, as you can see, is long. It is not a shortened guitar at all. As a matter of fact, this is 24 3/4 inch scale length. I basically took the fret positions and the scale length off of my Epiphone Les Paul, as well as the body shape. I don't know how well you see the body shape, but and then because there's only one pickup, and this is a dual hot rail humbucker, I don't need a switch up here, and I have just a volume and a tone control. Okay, and so what kind of wood is this made of? Well, there's only 2 kinds of wood on this guitar that I know for sure what they are, because I purchased them, and that is the center core here is maple, and the fretboard that is glued on top of the maple is honey locust. Honey locust is a pretty nice thing to make a fretboard out of. It's very hard, holds those frets very well. But I also glued these frets in. These frets have super glue underneath them to make them as stable as I can possibly think they could be. So what is the rest of this wood? No idea. I carried some stuff home from nearby dumpsters and from things that people left outside in their garbage. These darker stripes of wood, this one, this one, this one, and this one here, they were some sort of bed rail. And then these lighter pieces of wood were table legs from a dining room table that had been thrown in a construction dumpster. It didn't belong in the construction dumpster because it was not construction material, but somebody decided to use that construction dumpster as their personal garbage and threw a dining room table in there. Well, the table itself was kind of crap, but the legs were solid wood. And so I brought those home. They were real big. They were like this wide or this thick, and cut them up and made a guitar out of them, I guess. So it's a nice hardwood, and so, like I said, I'm not really sure what this wood is. It could be anything. I don't think it's pine, though. Anyway, so continuing, it has a Fender style headstock. It's not angled. For the tuners up here, I used some a string guide to bring the angle down. I didn't need anything to bring the angle down for the close tuners. Let's see, what else can I tell you about it? I have it set on a very clean thing. So one thing about this is that it has thicker strings than the 4 high strings of a tenor guitar. Actually, it's the center 4 strings of a regular 6-string. So the highest string is a B. I use a B string and it's a B. And because of the nature of the way guitars are tuned, this is a G string, but it's tuned to an F sharp. It's tuned a half step below. And then this is the next string down, which would be a D. And then this is the next string down from that, which is an A. So I basically just used an old set of strings that I had laying around. I don't even know if these are new strings. I might have taken them off another guitar, not sure. And so I went through the whole process of building. This is built on an additive approach. So I kind of started with this center core, 3/4 inch maple, and then I started adding to it. Once I had the maple all nice and level and everything, and I made the fretboard and put the frets in to the fretboard, and it was all glued together. Then I glued another piece underneath the maple to make it as thick as the rest of these pieces. Then I glued these wings on. One thing I did is I cut out from these pieces, before I glued them together, all these cavities. This cavity here, I basically did that with a table saw, and this cavity here with the table saw. I did not have to use a router on this at all. And I've been kind of racking my brain to think of ways that I could do this without having to have specialized tools more than just my table saw. So that seemed to work out pretty well. This panel here is really just friction fit. It goes in, it's nice and tight. I have a little way of, all I need to do is stick a little thing in here, and I can pop this right off of there. It is wired like a Les Paul Jr. That was the wiring diagram I used, because it's a single humbucker, and with a volume and a tone control. So you can hear how that tone works. Here's how the volume works. So how do you play this kind of guitar? Well, you play it like a ukulele. The G. The cool thing is that because it's almost completely tuned to an open chord, if I just don't hit the high string, I can so a lot of things I can kind of fudge and get away with on this that I could never get away with on a regular 6-string guitar. So that's the beginning of a song that I know. I have yet to learn a song in my key. I was thinking of maybe trying this one. Anyway, so we'll see if I have the courage to do that one. I've got to get my fingers used to the string spacing and everything here. As you can see, the neck is pretty thin this way. It's a little thicker than my other guitars. It does have a truss rod. When I put it all together and then measured my neck relief, it was dead on. I didn't have to move that truss rod one way or the other. My intonation needed to be adjusted just a little bit. The highest string was very, very close to perfect, and the lowest string had to be backed up a little bit. The string heights, before I put this all together, I did measure and everything and decided I needed this, I don't know, 3/16 inch thick plate under the bridge in order to make it so it was within my adjustment zone, so I could adjust my string action as low or as high as I wanted. Before that, I had it down on the kind of on the plate, and so it needed to come up just a little bit. The same thing with the this is a bone nut that I just happen to have in my kit from something else that I was doing. I probably ordered one and got two or something like that. But I just kept cutting and cutting and cutting until when I put a capo here, this is 2/1000ths of an inch off the fret. And all the rest of them are 3/1000ths of an inch. So that is very, very close. I don't get any buzz, but it's super easy. Basically just touching it. This does not have super high frets. This has pretty regular frets. I did sand the frets level a little bit, and then I had to recrown them. So, you know, just all the things you need to do. This pick guard is purely cosmetic. It's just glued onto the surface prior to finishing the guitar. I did stain it, so I got a little contrast. I'm not sure what else to tell you. So I'll learn some songs, and you'll probably see this in the future. Till then, have a wonderful day. It's spring. Bye now.